Welcome to the Asheron's Call Housing Guide video. The housing system in Asheron's Call is actually a very nice feature that few, if any, other massive multiplayer online games have. To start off, let me mention some of the requirements that these dwellings have. First, you must meet certain level requirements in order to own a dwelling. I will annotate this and any other requirements at the bottom of the screen. When you buy a dwelling of any kind, you must first buy the living space. Then on a monthly basis, you pay a maintenance fee to keep that dwelling under your name. Should you miss a payment on this, the dwelling will become available for purchase for everyone, and any items inside will be left for the new owner to take. You don't need to worry about forgetting to pay maintenance though, because if maintenance is due, every time you log on to a character, it will remind you. Secondly, you must have a writ of refuge in addition to cash to buy any dwelling. The makers of the game have made it pretty easy to get your first writ, but getting additional ones will require some effort. Some dwellings require writs as part of their maintenance fee, and others do not. Keep this in mind if you want something bigger than a cottage, as some people who favor convenience consider it a hassle to keep collecting these monthly. Fortunately, there are many different ways to get additional writs, so this helps a little. Lastly, all landscape dwellings require special items in addition to writs and cash to buy, which are often trophy items dropped by monsters. Fortunately, you'll only have to provide these to buy the dwelling, not for maintenance. There are 4 different types of housing available in Asheron's Call, which will be mentioned in order from economy to luxury. At the low end of the scale are apartments, which are least expensive and are indoor settlements that are accessible through residential hall portals found in various towns. You'll have no trouble finding an open apartment, as there are 3,000 of them available. You don't get much decorational choices here, just a chest for storage space. Each chest, by the way, holds up to 48 items. Next up are cottages. Cottages and anything up are found outdoors. You'll eventually come across various settlement portal clusters that can take you to all the major groups of cottages, as well as other dwellings. Sometimes you can find these other settlements in unexpected places as you adventure across the landscape. Most cottages are grouped together, but there are some lone cottages for those hermits out there. These offer much more flexibility on how you wish to decorate your dwelling, which is made possible through the use of what are called hooks. These hooks are found inside and outside of a dwelling, and you can place items on these to display them. Some players simply use these as a means of getting a little bit more storage space, while others use these to pimp out their houses for a more flashy look. I should also mention that there are some items in the game where, when hooked, they will cast beneficial spells upon you, which can usually be layered over enchantments that you already have, which is really nice for a decorative yet functional household. There are a total of 2,450 cottages available throughout the game world. Stepping up the social ladder, we find villas. These are much larger than cottages and even come with a whole basement, which are accessible via a portal located downstairs. These also have roof hooks, which you can place flags and larger items on. Finally, for these dwellings, you get 2 storage chests instead of 1. Villas are typically found in groups of 2 or 4 per area, with a few lone villas speckled in across the landscape. There are 520 villas available for purchase. And at last we come to mansions. Not only do you have more hooks, living space, and a storage consisting of 5 chests, these are the only dwelling where you will be allowed to place usable portal devices inside and outside your mansion. These portals often consist of shortcuts to excellent hunting grounds or hard-to-reach locations. Just note though that you may only place 10 portal devices in your mansion at any given time. Under most circumstances, the extremely difficult requirements that are placed upon getting a mansion usually mean that the only people who own them are leaders of a large monarchy, making these dwellings best as a common ground for guild operations and easy access to many useful spellcasting devices. Typically, many players contribute in order to pay for this dwelling's high maintenance costs in favor of benefiting the monarchy as a whole. And a final note about mansions. There are only 50 in the game world. So, the type of dwelling that you choose to own is up to you and is really a matter of convenience versus luxury. Take note that you may only own a single dwelling per server. Finally, just a few notes on miscellaneous details about housing. There are functions available to any owner of a dwelling to restrict and grant access to other players to either your house, your storage, or both. You may even choose to open your house to the entire allegiance if you want to provide items without having to be online at the same time as your allies. If you are a monarch and own a villa or a mansion, any vassal sworn under you will also have the option of using a command to teleport straight to your dwelling. And one final note about housing in general. You cannot purchase any dwelling for 15 days after you've made your first character on any server. Once you buy an outdoor dwelling, you may not purchase another for 30 days, so choose very carefully. If you are in doubt or want time to do some house hunting, consider getting an apartment first to avoid this 30-day restriction. Yes, housing is definitely one of the strong points of this game. Thank you for watching my guide to housing, and good luck with your search for the perfect settlement.